Your account balance on the 28th of February, minus $650. Get paid $2,500 on the 29th of February. New account balance, $1,850. Pay rent. Pay bills, pay off part of your loan, pay for food, pay for clothes, pay for nights out. Ending balance, negative $590. If this is what your account looks like every month, this should scare you. A lot of us live paycheck to paycheck. And sometimes it seems like no matter what you do, you just can't get out of that cycle or that rut. And maybe you've just accepted this as your reality. Well, I was actually like that in my 20s. I worked at, I'd say, the top investment bank in the world. I was earning decent money at that time, but I would end up in my overdraft month after month. And I couldn't figure out why. Until a few years after, I decided to try something different. And this different method not only broke that cycle, it's actually helped me build my six-figure portfolio, which is what I live off of now that I've quit my 9-to-5 job. So this was my initial structure. I get paid on payday. I move 50% of what I get paid, my net income, into a savings account, and I just leave it there. The other 50% I would leave in my current or my checking account to cover my bills and monthly expenses. And by day 17 after payday, my 50% savings were almost completely, if not completely, depleted. And that was because I kept moving monies over from my savings account into my current account to pay for items I probably didn't need. At that point, I didn't really have a clear idea as to what my expenses were. I had a vague idea as to what my mortgage payment was and a few bills, but I wasn't crystal clear on what those exact amounts were every single month. And I did this for years until one January it hit me. I was managing wealth for some of the wealthiest individuals in the world, and for some reason you're still living paycheck to paycheck even though I was on a decent salary. I figured, I was in my 20s, maybe a little bit lazy. I'm not saying 20-year-olds are lazy. I'm just saying that I knew the right thing to do, but for some reason I struggled to do it. So here is my new structure, and this is a structure that I adopted in my 20s, and now that I'm in my 30s, it's actually serving me really, really well. The first thing to do, and I pretty much say this in almost all of my videos, is to figure out what your actual expenses are. After writing down my monthly expenses, I actually realized that 40% of my income was more than enough to cover those expenses. So now I was clear that I could save up to 60% of my income and still be very much in line when it came to covering my expenses. So instead of saving 50%, I started to save 60%. So I would move 60% of my income, immediately it hit my account, into a savings account. The next thing I did was to open a brand new and separate account, which I dubbed My Good Life. Until today, that serves as my emergency fund account, i.e. monies that I leave and I don't touch because life happens and you don't want to be stuck. But this is precisely where everything changed for me. Instead of leaving 60% in my savings account, which was very accessible and frankly very tempting to spend, I did two things differently. The first thing was that I started moving 10% from my savings account into my new My Good Life account. The second thing I did was to invest 20% from that 60% into the stock market. The first share I bought was Apple. This was many years ago, but I still own this position and it served me quite nicely because tech has done really, really well over the years. And I continued to do this every single month. And that discipline has helped me build a six-figure portfolio. I'll link a video here or there where I talk about my portfolio, what exactly I did to get to where I am today, and hopefully this gives you insight into my journey and what my plans are for the future. So hopefully this helps at least one of you if you are on your financial freedom journey as to how to build a portfolio. At this point, it would be totally remiss of me not to say thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. I really appreciate you guys joining my small but growing corner here on YouTube. By the way, I didn't set up an automated transfer or deposit system. I wanted to do it manually. And sometimes you hear people saying you should do it automatically. If you know that you will get tempted to spend, then I would highly, highly recommend that. But for me, I chose to do it manually for two reasons. Number one, I actually wanted to make sure that my compensation or my salary was accurate. So I would check those figures on a monthly basis. And number two, I actually liked the discipline of manually moving monies from my account. It also gave me a chance to review my account on a monthly basis just to make sure, there weren't any outgoings that I wasn't aware of or any incomings that I wasn't aware of. So the next thing I did was, after allocating 10% to my emergency fund account, my Good Life account, and 20% into stocks or bonds or investments in general, I had 30% left in my savings account. And from this amount, I would pay off any debts that I owed. And I would start with the debt that had the highest interest rates. This is actually important to note. And then trickle down into debts that had lower interest rates. The reason you want to pay off higher interest rate debts first before tackling the others is that when you have a high interest rate debt, you're essentially paying for consumption you've already made, and paying off high interest rates versus what you're getting in, whether from your high yield savings account or your income or any investments, you typically might find that the interest rate you're paying on that debt is higher than the return on investments you're getting. So you want to make sure that you are getting rid of high interest rate debts before you tackle others. Secondly, the high interest rate debt is actually eating up your income or your investable capital. So instead of spending 7% or 10% on debt, if you pay that off as quickly as possible, you have more monies to put towards investing. So this is precisely what I did, and I still do with any inflows or any sort of incomes. And that's essentially how I've been able to build my six-figure portfolio. It's what got me where I am today, where I am now, out of the 9-to-5 race for now, and I'm living off my investments. So I would highly recommend that you try this system if you've tried everything else and nothing seems to work. Number one, ensure you know precisely what your expenses or your outgoings are. Number two, open an emergency fund account where you can save up to 10% or whatever is comfortable for you or you can afford. Put that in there every single month and don't touch it. And you also would probably want to opt for a high yield or high savings account so that your capital is actually earning interest up to 5 or 6% on an annual basis. Number three, open a brokerage or an investment account where you can put up to 20%, or again, whatever it is you can afford. That percentage would be something that is personal to you and you would need to work out after you've done steps 1 and 2. And number four, you can start paying off your debt. As mentioned, you probably want to start with your high interest rate debt first and then trickle down into lower interest rate debt. And to bring this all back home as to why we want to do this in the first place. Now, there are various ways you can choose to run your income once it hits your account. But the essence of what we talk about on this channel is building for the future, becoming financially free before you hit retirement age. And so by doing this on a monthly basis, you are essentially investing in your future self, and you won't regret it, guys. When I changed my structure and I adopted this new method, it did something to me mentally, but also I could actually see the tangible difference it made in my finances. Now, I'll end this video by saying this. Living paycheck to paycheck sometimes isn't within our control, and I completely acknowledge that and understand how difficult it can be to get out of that system. But the difficulty with living paycheck to paycheck, especially if you are on an income where you can afford not to do that, is your lack of a safety net. Life throws curveballs every now and then, and being in a position where you can be independent and non-reliant on other people or loans or debts is really freeing, and it's incredibly empowering. Now, if you have a different system that's worked for you, please leave it in the comment section below, because I'm sure we can all learn from you. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos on personal finance, wealth creation, and business. All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.